Hey guys, this is Dark Plays. Words. I can't think of what it's called now. Scooper. Well, I'll have it in the title. Things. I can't remember. Some of that space. But anyway, last time we got flirted with by the demon-looking physician, and our boy's soul hacket was all, "Don't touch my girl," and we were all, "We're not a prize to be won," and we got mad and walked away. And then he promised to take us out to dinner or something later. So here we are. Soul leads me to the ship lounge and cafeteria. I'm not expecting much from it, since food is since food, but anything to soothe my gurgling belly is welcome. Welcome to the ship's lounge. It's all ranks since. Watch out! In front of me, all I can see is a black boot whiz past the front of my face. It passes so close and so fast that I can feel the wind rushing across my hair. With a mighty tug, Soul grabs the back of my uniform and yanks me back. He pulls so hard that I stumble and almost slam against the wall of the hallway. A mere millisecond later, a large green tail slashes through the air where my head used to be. Before I can react and determine what just about took my head from my shoulders, Soul storms forward. Dang it, Zuri! How many times has Commander Rasuna and I ordered you not to practice your fighting garbage in the lounge? Wow, Soul, you've got pretty good reflexes. I've had to develop them because of you. Answer the question. I don't know, a couple? 27 times. Don't you have anything better to do than remember random numbers like that? I wouldn't have to if you stopped trying to kill people. Oh hey, who is she? The superior officer you about murdered for committing the horrible crime of just entering the room. Huh? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm Zuri. Who are you? Now that she's settling down, I can get a better look at the woman with such amazing feet. She's what were they called again? Do you have any remembrance of the academy? What is the proper procedure for introducing yourself to someone who outranks you? Come on, she's not in my chain of command. We don't have to be quite so uptight, right? Her long ears, green hair will tell me that she's an elf, but elves don't have wings. Possibly she could be an athlete like Stan, but athletes don't have shiny, scaly tails. Wrong. I don't care if we are crew, dogs or not. We maintain the chain of command and respect during all phases of operation. But I'm off duty right now. What does that have to do with anything, Lieutenant? I think I remember reading about them in the news bit. If I recall the story correctly, they come from some sandy planet in the far northern reaches of the Republic. We're just normal people off duty. We're all the same. Regulations don't go away just because you aren't on duty. Besides, Lieutenant, when we launch from port, we are technically always on duty. I don't mean to interrupt, but what are you? Huh? Annoying and disrespectful? She meant me. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. I've never met anyone of your species before, and I can't remember what you're called. Oh, they're called Draymons. They originate from the planet of Onathon. Onathon? It's Northern Real, right? Railton. Our dear lieutenant and her ilk are loyalists to the Empire. She's right. My home is located just north of the capital world. I even once got to visit the city of Emerald Winds there. An exasperated sigh from Soul tells me that I didn't conceal my interest very well. Still, you don't meet too many people who have heard the melodies of the Emerald Winds. How did you gain entry? Only the lute players themselves ever are permitted entry into their halls. My clan elder nominated me as a lute player one year. Every year, the clan sends someone there to resonate with the Emerald City, Crystal, and perform the Ballad of the Distant Dreams. You perform the Ballad of the Distant Dreams? Great, we're not getting rid of her now, are we? Soul must never have heard the heart-touching Ballad of Distant Dreams. Even though I've never heard it in person, the soft melody plays in the happiest places of my memory. It's a soft song of hope and loss, of what once was and what shall be, no matter what Soul thinks of the player. If he could hear the song, he could be swayed by it too. That's it. Wow, you really do know it. Of course I do. It's so beautiful. I love it, but I kind of stuck into the lute player, and I can't beat my wings to the right rhythm for the ballad. Oh, big surprise. But a warrior has to be both a master of the sword and of culture, so I practice it anyway. The elders stressed that a lot to me during my training, but a real warrior doesn't bother with such weaknesses. Did they also stress for respecting your elders? Not really. Big surprise. Are you saying I should be calling you Grandpa? I would eat my heart out with nothing more than a toothpick than claim any family relation with you. Speaking of food, why don't we go get some and get to know each other a little better? That would be awesome. Alphonse, Kylie, and I were just about to sit down and have dinner. I'll second that. I'm not that hungry. Come on, Grandpa, how am I supposed to find my way to my quarters afterward without a guide? She's with Moonfall. Take her there afterward, Zuri. Hey, Soul, don't go. Please, I want to hang out and catch up, but I also want to get to understand everyone better. I solemnly swear that I won't accidentally knock you over again, Major Hackett. Fine, try to keep it reined in, all of you. I don't want to have to clean up the lounge again because someone made us to prove that you can stick spaghetti to the ceiling. I still think you did something to your noodle. It's a cooking technique, loser brain. When the noodle gets close to being ready and the starch gets sticky, you are able to test it by seeing if it will stick to the wall. And if it doesn't, it isn't ready, precisely. That makes sense. Why couldn't you have just said that instead of insulting me, Soul? It's Major Hackett, and I was just stating the obvious fact. You are a lizard. You have a brain, do you not? I'm not some desert lizard. I'm going to report you to the commander again. By the time you all stop fighting, the food is going to get cold again. The goop is even nastier when it is cold. If I say I forgive you, could we just drop it? Sorry, you nearly knocked out Natalie and insulted me, but I'll let it slide this one time. Let's just hurry up and eat. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Come, there is plenty to go around. Inside the small room is an ovoid table, with a few gray and black chairs surrounding it. Actual chairs with proper covering, mind you, not the Rift Fighter ejector seats I had to scrounge up. To the side I can see the synthesizer for making the usual much, as well as a few other devices, an oven, a refrigeration machine, and some limited space for food preparation. I'm glad someone added those machines because the force is so diverse, and every species has their own taste and nutritional requirements. The synthesizer needs to be able to adapt to everyone, which means it produces some rather bland and unoriginal food, if you can call it that. Still, when I haven't had anything to eat all day, I'll take whatever I can get. Zuri motions to the seat next to her with a mirthful pat on the back. I take it, eager to discover the inner workings of someone who has seen such a marvelous place. Oh my, spaghetti with Alfredo sauce? Were you expecting me to visit? Expecting? No, I was just hoping your favorite would convince you to stay. Well, it seems at least one thing is going right. Alphonse has a jovial smile on his face, and Kylie seems to be losing the edge she had when Soul showed up. I know Soul's wrong about this. If the rest of the crew are as interesting as these people, I think this may be an acceptable post. The standard issue blue plate sits in front of me for nary a second before I pounce. There may be no wild creatures that may try to steal it from me anymore. Habits don't die easily. Natalie, can I ask you a personal question? It's major. I'm tired of arguing with you all. Woo, thanks. She is thanking Soul for finally giving up, or me, I dare not ask. Why did you join the force? The age-old question of all deep space adventurers. Well, I was hoping for something like if I had a romantic relationship with Soul or something. That one isn't interesting. Why don't you tell her yours, Zuri? It might make her a little more at ease. Oh, quote pro. Quid pro quo. I joined right out of mandatory schooling when counseling time came to discuss job options. He didn't get a single word out before I told him I wanted to join the force. Why is that? Because if I don't defend my home, who will? My homeland has given me so much to be thankful for. This is the least that I could do to repay them. I had so many offers to join professional racquetball, but I turned them all down. I even had an offer to join Onathon's Olympic track team. I still don't believe that one. I might not look like it, but I'm one of the fastest runners you'll ever see. Good, I always liked my security officers being able to run away really fast. For those who need my protection, Alphonse could not have been more wrong. Zuri's reason is so honorable and prideful, and it makes mine look so ugly. I joined because I always wanted to work on fighters. They were always so fast and so cool when I saw them zipping through the air at the Duster Station. Why didn't you try to become a fighter pilot instead? Soul's one. Well, I was better at fixing than I was at flying. What she's saying is she couldn't see over the dashboard. They don't make seats for my height, so I always reject it. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not. We'd be a flying garbage scow with nothing but sense food to eat. That's what she wants to hear, that her dreams are less important than your stuff. I didn't mean it that way, Kylie. I know. Still, doesn't sound any less offending. Why don't you tell us why you joined, Soul? Why do you care? Natalie already knows why. We've had this discussion before. I would like to know. You never tell us anything about yourself. Because you don't need to know. I'd like to know more about our executive officer. If you don't tell them, I will. Fine, force my hand. I joined because of a program that allows veterans to get special treatment in trade deals. I plan on becoming a transporter. That was nothing like the romantic story he told me. I don't see you becoming one of those old fat pilots hauling cargo. It's such a funny picture. Well, there you have it, Nat. What's your reason? Time to admit the truth. If I don't, I could start sowing the seeds of distrust in their mind. I was bored. Bored? This is so embarrassing, but I really was just bored one day and said, I could just go to the university and become a chemist, but that's boring. I decided to sign up on a whim. But you stuck around to be the best and prove your might and strength to the universe. That's not why you do something, but that you did it. Exactly. What you do here and now is what matters, not how you got here. Soul flashes me a small smile. He knows the truth. I came here because my family is incredibly poor. I couldn't afford the university, so I had to find other ways to become the best. There's nothing I hate more than those sad smiles I get when people discover my poor heritage. They don't know what it is like to fight from the ground up with nothing more than your heart. That is why I must continue to be the best. I'll conquer peace for Katagia, be the hero, and prove myself to the universe. I eat my food quickly and ask Soul to take me back to my room. When I get tired, I get philosophical. My first day is not the place to let myself become that way. This is your room. If you need anything, you have my frequency. Don't be afraid to call me for anything. Thanks for showing me around, Soul. It's nice having a friend on the ship again. Good night. Good night, Soul. So this is where I'm going to be spending the next few months. I doubt I will be visiting this room much, but there is so much work to be done. It is just a tad cramped, but I think I can make a good life here. The crew seems friendly. I doubt my mission is mundane, and I don't have to worry about waking up to giant rats gnawing on my computer. I glance over at my roommate's bed, but she seems to be fast asleep. The commander said that she was Captain Moonfollow. I'll have to introduce myself to her in the morning. It's hard to maneuver around in the dark, so I relent on unpacking and head to bed. Tomorrow I get to start my job as the hero. This is going to be perfect. I didn't check my computer at all. What's that? Is another bird stuck in the ventilation again? No. As I look around, I remember that I've been freed from that hellhole. Somebody's banging on my door with a ludicrous amount of force. That doesn't sound like it would be Soul. He said that he was going to meet me here in 20 minutes. It's always punctual, but coming. I quickly throw on a fresh uniform and go to open the door. As the door slides open, an angry-looking kitten with bright pink hair tied in twin drills storms in without so much as a greeting. Where's breakfast? What? You heard me, Faye. I'm not Faye. My mistake. You're not my minion. No, I'm not. Still, you seem like you could make a decent meal. You're my new minion. This is making less and less sense as the moments tick on. I glance at her shoulder and notice the thin stripe of Lieutenant. Suddenly I'm starting to understand Soul's annoyance. Excuse me, Lieutenant, but I'm hungry. Chop chop. I'm a major. You know your ranks, right? Behind me, I can hear the rustling of sheets and a loud pop of someone falling out of bed. I want to turn and investigate, but the uppity lieutenant is looking me over like merchandise. Not much to look at, but you've got spirit. I think you'll be acceptable in the ranks of my minions. Lieutenant, barging into a superior officer's room. You know who I am? No. I'm Kika Star, daughter of President of Earth Julian Star, and the hero of Xeon. We're on the Nimrods. I know that, and I do not care who your father is. Decorum is critical for all crew members. And who's going to get me my breakfast? I have no idea, but I know who is going to get my breakfast this morning. What? You can't seriously order me to go get your breakfast. I am. Chop chop. That's an unlawful order. Breakfast or paper. Those are your two options. On second thought, I don't think I want you as a minion. No, so you choose paperwork. I might have just arrived on the ship, but I'm rested enough to do some writing. Morning, Kika. I brought breakfast. Finally, someone reasonable. I thought you said you were going to meet me at the lounge. I kind of slept in again. Captain Moonfall, I presume? Uh-huh. Her glassy blue eyes and constant yawning tell the story of a girl who isn't quite all there this morning. It's nice to meet you. I'm Natalie Fusil, your new roommate. I hope I didn't wake you when I moved in. You moved in? Sorry, I didn't help. That's why I have to beat on the door so hard. She doesn't sleep so much as she slips into a coma. It's good to know I won't disturb you when you sleep, Lieutenant. Star, was it? Soon to be captain. I'm not such a heavy sleeper. This is your one warning. Faye, did you make the Danish like I asked? Danish? I thought you wanted toast. Whatever, let me see it. Here you go, Major. Lucille, was it? Are you making fun of me? You said breakfast or paperwork. There, all better now. Let's go, Faye. You've made me a Danish. I made today's breakfast. It's your turn. It's still today. They go walking off without paying me any attention. See? She's been that way since I was her upperclassman at the academy. The lieutenant got under my skin. But I don't think you should call her a mutt. No, Moonfall is the backstabbing mutt. Kika is just a puffed up house cat. I look at the toast in my hand. No point in letting it go to waste. The meeting is in 20 minutes. Are you prepared? It's in 2 hours and 20 minutes. No, I double-checked for Sasuna this morning. Are you saying you haven't even read your orders yet? I jam the toast in my mouth and sprint out of the room and down the hall. I can salvage this! Really, I can! 20 minutes later, to the second, I'm standing before the assembled crew with a page of hastily scribbled notes and an anxious-looking soul. Doesn't you know I've got this? There's nothing to worry about. I totally got this. Everyone is assembled, Major Pucil. You may commence. And time hack at 0800 Fleet Standard Time. Welcome, everyone. I am Major Natalie Pucil. I will be briefing you on the newest mission for the KSS Nimrod. The operation will go by the code name Runaway Book. 3 days ago, an all-points bulletin was issued for a Marikian Institute research team that failed to report it at their designated time. The team is currently considered missing in action. While this would normally not require a response, the final report for Dr. Nimian Sunflower, the team's xenotechnician, suspected that the recovered artifact may hold some importance to modern transportation. Question: how did an ancient civilization manage to make something that we have to worry about? They're old and ancient. Just because they are old doesn't mean they weren't technologically advanced. Then why aren't they still around? There's a lot of reasons. They could have been wiped out in war, some sort of viral plague, or simply moved on to other parts of the universe. Precisely. Marikia isn't filling us in on the details of what the expedition was supposed to uncover, so we will be doing a lot of legwork. They probably just found some old traffic signs, but Command feels it important enough to warrant a follow-up. Odds are we will find them sitting there dumb and happy, but I'm not taking any risks. Investigation work. This wouldn't be the first time, would it, Faye? Nope. Our ground team at any potential site will consist of Major Purcell, Major Hackett, Captain Moonfall, Lieutenant Zuri, and Colonel Nelson. What? I must agree with Sarah. The team line up will not do. How so? Would it not make more sense to keep the doctor here? Should I become incapacitated in the field, I will no longer be able to render life-saving aid. For the sake of those who may be injured in the line of our noble duty, I beseech you not risk such a valuable asset. You just don't want to risk your neck. I've trained in first aid. I'm qualified first responder. Commander, does our swap not make sense? Lieutenant Starr, your father has given me specific orders to keep you out of harm's way. Unless I can assess that there is no danger, I cannot authorize the swap. But if there isn't an element of danger, what's the point of going on an adventure? Military necessity. But risking a high-ranking officer with a valuable training is, I dare not believe that. Believe it. Everyone sit down. Continue, Purcell. We are going to the last known location, and we'll attempt to trace their location from there. I don't think we are going to face any dangers, but our current knowledge is limited. Wandering into the unknown always brings a certain level of risk. Flight Officer Miggy, what is the status of our shipment supplies? Everything is working within approved levels, except for a few minor comfort things. So the aft bathroom is not going to be fixed for a while, is what you're saying. Supplies aren't as good. We got shorted on a lot of our order. We've got roughly a solid month's worth of food and fuel. We will make do with what we have. You will file another report on this to fleet support. I will take care of it. Thanks, Major. I'm not pleased with Command's subpar performances any more than our crews. I don't have double standards for my subordinates compared to my superiors. Thanks, I think. Crew, prepare for jump. Major Purcell, upload your coordinates to the nav station for Lieutenant Starr. Major Hackett, ready our ship. But if you have a complaint, voice it later. I want the ship ready for jump in 5 minutes and our course in 3. But now, Lieutenant Starr. Fine, come on. Rude lieutenant grabs my arm and violently yanks me to the position on the far left side. Give them to me. The coordinates. If the soul wants them in 3, I have to do it in 2. I click the transfer button and watch the file pop up on the navigator station. In a heartbeat, Kika has pounced onto the station, her fingers flying like hawks as she manipulates the screen. Why do you have to do it in 2? If he said 3, I'm sure he is fine with 3. Because that's the standard. I'm the best of the best. You don't become the hero by simply doing the bare minimum. And because we do, that's why you are all going to be my minions someday. The best of things are typically done with the worst intentions. Still, my mission is more likely to succeed with someone who has the drive and motivation. But something bugs me about watching her type and draw so fast. Is the ship navigation virtual intelligence not working? Hard to concentrate when you are babbling. Just trying to get a better feel of my ship. Whatever, it works just fine. It just suffers the limitation of all VI. They're programmers. Exactly, my methods are faster and have better results. There's a paranoid. Wait, you're not flying us into a star, are you? No, but I might be flying us through pirate space. It's not like we're going to stop our ship, jump, and let them attack us. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Natalie, over here. Trust is a limited commodity, especially when I feel the best way to describe her is a candle that burns twice as bright, burns half as long. Soul is standing by a small chair that looks rather uncomfortable in the back next to Zuri. We're making the jump. It may get a little rough, so strap in and keep your emergency pressurization device under your chair turned on. Isn't there anything I can do? Trust me, I'll make this a smooth one. Just sit back and watch. Okay. I'm not worried about ship accidents making the ship to subspace nowadays are rare. I'm always a little jumpy when we make the jump. You can't do anything to fix a bad jump sitting back here in the baby seat. Why does she have to vocalize my fears? Well, it would take one little mistake by the hasty lieutenant or the slip of Soul's hand. We could be dead in a millisecond. We're all gonna die. I love space travel. The science behind getting a ship into the space between space is amazing. That doesn't make it any less dangerous or frightening. Still, I do feel better knowing that I'm not the only one who is a tad skittish about this. Zuri's alright. How do you cope with it? I'm not scared or anything, just curious. Night-night. Huh? Zuri closes her eyes and snuggles into her restraints. Sleep? How the hell can anyone sleep at a time like this? Between the chaos and noise, there's no chance of sleep. Zuri? Yep, there she goes. Out the tower. All crew, sound off. Flight station ready. Navigation plotted and good to go. Engineering all green. Non-essential crew are strapped in and secured. The Nimros is prepared to jump at your word, Commander. Engage jump. Roger, engage and jump drive. Under my seat, I can feel the deck shift from a slow, steady vibration shift to a much louder, much more violent rattle. The warp space generator is beginning its charge. The massive power required to tear a ship in normal space is astronomical. If any of the capacitors were to suddenly explode, there wouldn't be even atoms of me left floating around. I closed my eyes, wishing I could fall asleep like Zuri. No amount of personal brilliance can help me if the manufacturer skimped on something or Kylie didn't put her best into the text. The volume finally crescendos as the capacitors are charged to the required values. Next comes the part that scares me the most. The power is transferred to a Belanino crystal to pull the ship into substance. Belanino serves as the focal point. Without it, the energy used to break the holds of the universe would be useless. The material is rare, mined in 3 locations galaxy-wide. I doubt we have a spare. Stop thinking about everything that could go wrong, Nat. If you explode, you won't even have time to feel it. Ship drive stabilized. My ship, my controls. Your ship, your controls. Advance into the void. Moving forward. It begins. I open my eyes to the bright light of the bridge. I feel groggy and disoriented. Did I manage to fall asleep? The bridge is emptier than when I closed them. I must have blacked out for a little bit. Miracles do happen, I suppose. Good morning. How long was I out? 2 hours. We're still in ship. The first shift nap is always the hardest to recover from. Why don't you take a moment to walk around? It always helps me. Can I? Yep. You only have to be buckled up for entry and exit of subspace. Feels like someone beat me with a rubber mallet. I think I'll need to get better sleep tonight, increase my water intake. I think I'll go talk with some of the crew. That should help clear my mind. I wanna talk to Soul. Hey Soul, how did the jump go? Flawlessly. I hope it didn't disrupt your nap. I didn't think I was gonna actually fall asleep. I just wanted to close my eyes to drown out the shaking. Good to catch a nap every now and then. I would catch a nap sometimes on my patrols. With you on the job, 24-hour patrols wear on you. Taking short breaks during subspace shifts will help keep you sharp when you shift out into combat. Scariest thing I've ever gone through in my life was my first dogfight. A Ralton snubby slid in right behind me and had a missile lock. Did you think you were going to die? No, I was so focused on the situation that it wasn't until after the mission that I realized how close to death I came. I almost cried, almost, but not when I was in real danger, not when I was under the missile lock. That's how I wasn't scared of losing Lena until she was already gone. What happened? I don't have the right to reflect on it anymore. Odd words to match a very odd expression on his face as he looks at Alphonse. Anger. Unrestrained anger from the depths of hell. Why are you so angry? A reflection has its time and place. Natalie is your friend, and she wishes to share your burden. Thank you for your permission. What's that about? Nothing. Do not worry about it. Just old friends and their squabbles. We are not friends. Please remove yourself from our conversation. Forgive me for intruding. Stupid fricon. Always butting in if he isn't wanted. He can still hear you. I know. I'm hoping if I say it enough times he'll stop doing it. I'd order him to stop, but we share the same rate. I have seen you. But Soul has the executive position. See, he just keeps butting him when I don't need him talking. What? Are you two an old married couple? No, no, no. We've flown together in rival training fighter squadrons. I was a black eagle and he was a goldfinch. You flew under the command of the most pretentious man in the history of fighters, which is astounding to fathom. Your squadron leader was a shy, don't say a word, you monster. Forgive me, shut up and focus on the controls. We're going to be shifting out shortly. Who was his squadron leader? Someone I know? Cosette, we've got work to do here. I do care if you are hostile with me, but you shouldn't treat your friends so roughly. Sorry, it was Lena. Could we drop it now and get back to the task at hand? Lena, the red hat who would never stand up for herself, was a fighter squadron leader? What the hell happened in fighter training? But I wonder, we hung out a decent bit. She never stuck me as someone who was sharp enough to formulate tactics on the fly, sharp reflexes, but I don't mind. How many fighter pilots did she kill in a stupid blunder? Is that why she isn't here with Soul anymore? He looks so broken and hurt when he talks about her. I'm sorry, Soul. I didn't mean to bring up bad memories. Bad memories are the story of my life. Don't worry about it. Please sit down. We are shifting now. As I walk back to my seat, I hear Alphonse quietly whisper to Soul, "Were they all that bad? You just told her that your time together was nothing but a mad memory." He did, didn't he? I hadn't considered it that way, but by exclusion he did imply that. I look at our time at the academy fondly. Does Soul? I did not. Consider your words, or all you will have are bad memories. Next time I'm going to find a co-pilot who isn't a philosopher. I'm trying to help. Then help me with shift out. Crew, resume your station. Prepare for shift. I barely managed to strap myself in before the violent rattling starts up again. Clutching to the straps, white-knuckled, all I can do is pray that we didn't damage some critical piece of equipment during our shift in. If it didn't... Oh, no. I clicked something. If it didn't take a few thousand years to get from one place to another, I would never take such unreliable transportation. Why can't we have... Oh, I can't... Developed wormholes instead. Point to point. Well done. Oh, can I go back? Oh, no. No. Using... No. Sorry. When I become fleet technician, I'm going to devote all my resources to developing that technology. So much safer and quicker than this. It's okay. It's okay. Trust the ship. Trust the maintenance. Trust Soul and Alphonse. Okay, maybe life on that mud ball had a few perks over being on an adventure. Are you alright? Fine. You don't look? If she said she's fine, she's fine. Oh. Nat, you gotta hang tough. Right, I can do this. A few more seconds of fear-inducing vibrations. The ship returns to the normal composition of space travel. Not smooth, but not so terrifying that I can't focus on anything else. There, I see the world that will be my first investigation site. The planet is unnamed. Just some random alphanumeric designator nobody would have cared about if some research team hadn't decided to go digging around. Captain Moon, follow environmental report. Can I get up yet? Sorry, I haven't completed my shift out checklist. You are now cleared up. Thanks, look at me. Everything checks out. Hospitable for all crew life, though it may be a little too oxygen-rich for Commander Rasuna to breathe comfortably. Slightly smaller than Earth's gravitational pull is within 0.000001% of Earth's. The supplied coordination will put us down in a temperate area, mid-70s Fahrenheit temperatures, grassland, no major life forms of note. I see some smaller ones, similar to small mammals in the local area. Oh, I wanted to bring the heavy weapons today. That's not dangerous. If I have to be afraid of some stray cat, then I have bigger problems in life. My orders stand. Major Crucill, what are you expecting to find at the site? Truthfully, I have no clue what I'm going to find at the site. We were always taught that it was the most dangerous part of the investigation. You can only go in with what intel told you. I'm going down there with nothing but me and my wits. Everywhere from now on is going going to have much better intelligence, since I should be able to find some sort of clues here. But for now, this mission is operating in the blind. This is not what I like to hear, Major. Really, Natalie? You don't have any better ideas? Aw, come on, life is boring when you know everything ahead of you. And a lot's order. What are you all talking about? I'm expecting to find an abandoned camp in the middle of the forest. So why the whole I have no clue what to find bit? Natalie, you were doing turtle monologue out loud again. Why didn't you stop me? Because it was kind of important information. Great, now I look like a fool again. I need to be more careful about that. Lieutenant Zuri. Yeah, safety, security, and what was that last S word you're always saying? Swords? Why would we ever first actually practice some swords? I don't know, I really don't pay attention. I mean, yes, Major. Safety, security, and swords. Just fall out. Yes, Commander. Zuri, just don't let us get killed. How about Nald? No. Ravage? No. Maine? Don't encourage her. I know I shouldn't, but I'm trying my best not to lose my cool. My first real ground side investigation. The butterflies in my stomach won't stop zooming around my gut. 4 people under my command. I have to be on point. I have to be the razor's edge. They are counting on me. Time to earn those major stripes, Natalie. Oh, Lord have mercy. Alright, we are going to save right here. We're going to end this part, because we have been going for way too long. But I have enjoyed it. So, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe to see more, and have a wonderful day.